the first thing I want everybody to do is cut your zonkers to length. And for the big hook, the zonker needs to be 1 1/4 inches long. And that's measured along the hide side. And does everybody know how to cut a zonker? You want to sweep the feathers away from the grain. Like, everybody know what I'm talking about? Say no if you don't know. You don't want to cut. You don't want to let the hair. Everybody look at your screen. Look at the screen. You don't want to cut the hair with the hair sitting back like this over the cut. So wherever you're going to cut it, and what I do is I mark 1.5 inches on the hide side, right here. Then I'll take and move the hair back right over the cut like that. You see what I got now? Can you see how the let me switch over here where I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so you cut right there where there's no hair. You see that? I didn't hear anybody say no, so that's where you're going to cut. Take your time, get it as close to exactly 1.25 inches as you can. And so we won't go any farther until you got those zonkers cut. Now this fly, this Batman fly is designed for redfish and for bass. And purple is one of the colors. It's supposed to be good. I think the standard one is black, but you can tie it in black, crawfish orange, olive. Gosh, what are some of the other ones? White, I think. I hadn't seen any white ones, but I thought purple would be good because it's getting cold, and that's one of those colors that we've heard that some of the saltwater fish can really tune in on this time of year is purple. And sometimes purple is just the color that these things will hit. So if you, I can't see you, of course, can't see everybody, but let me know when everybody has got the 1.25 inch strips cut. Because if I start going up now, I got one thumbs up here. I got a thumbs up from Jim, Tom, John, you got yours? You got them? Okay. Let's see. Bruce is not tying. He's monitoring. Mark, you got them tied? You got them cut? You don't? Just, you said continue, okay?
Go on.
Chris Williams, you got yours? Oh, you don't have them. Or do you have, you said you had materials. I can't see you live.
Yeah, I'm all set. Sorry, I can't figure out my camera this evening.
That's all right. Can you see us?
I can see you guys.
Okay, so you got your zonkers cut?
Yep, all set.
Jonathan?
Yes, sir, we're good.
Okay. Anybody else up, Bill? I can't see anybody else. Okay. All right. Okay, now I highly recommend 210 denier thread, which is what Ciccone recommends. So we're going to start about one eye length, 1 eye distance behind the eye, kind of standard. Okay. I'm going to wrap back to just beyond, just back of the hook. Okay. Give it a tighten up my hook. Okay, right back to about right there where I got it, about to the barb, and then bring your thread to hang. Have your thread hang right at the point of the hook. Now, you guys, you got 4 eyes. I don't mean you got 4 eyes on your head. You got 4 eyes in the packet I sent. And you may have gotten yellow, red, green combination. It doesn't matter what color the eye is. All right, so now if somebody's not got your tie tied in yet, your thread, let's give a yell. Bill, can you see everybody?
No, I can't. Because if I change everybody, it changes the YouTube feed. So I'm not.
Okay, I'll just swip back over here.
Gallery view, yeah.
Okay, Mark, I see you're still winding up. Katz, you're not tying, are you? Are you tying?
No, I'm driving or riding.
Oh, okay. Chris, you tied? You got the thread on?
Red's on, yes.
Okay, Jim Johnson, I know you got yours on probably. Jonathan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll switch back over here where I can see what I'm doing. All right, so now when I put these eyes on, I try to make a maximum of 3 wraps. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So let me tie mine on. And I slant it. It's going to be slanted like this, facing me. I know you might be a little difficult to see that, but put 2 wraps like that. Then I'll come, put 2 wraps the other way. Okay, now it's pretty straight. Now I'll put 1 more the way I started off and 1 more back the other way. So I've got a total of 3 diagonal wraps. And that's all I'm gonna put on there. Now I'm gonna look down the hook shank, make sure I've got that thing level with the parallel to the way the eye of the hook sits. And then I'm gonna take and make about 3 wraps underneath the eyes. I'm not going under the hook there. That's just to tighten it up with a little wedge there. Check one more time to make sure it's level, 90 degrees. Now this is where the super glue comes in. And you may be used to putting a lot more wraps on there. If you want to do that, that's fine. However, I've taken this this fly and run it over rocks and stuff on the Toledo Bend spillway, and the fly held together fine. So I'm gonna put a drop on top. All right, and this is Dollar Tree super glue. Put a drop on top. Got an old toothpick here. Kind of spread that out. And turn underneath with the rotary vise here. Drop right there. Spread it out a little bit. Now this super glue, what I do is I put a silicone gel around the threads here, and it keeps these things going for a long time. And the type of silicone I use is it's actually treadmill lubricant. You get it on, I looked it up on Amazon, got some of it there. It was recommended by somebody else. Now here's something else that you need to know about. I don't know if you've seen it before. It's called zip kicker. And all you do is you take your bodkin, get a drop of it or so on that, touch it where the super glue is. That super glue is hard. I'm gonna put just a drop on all both sides. And what that does is just about instantaneously freezes up that super glue. And the result is it's hard, it's finished drying, and it's harder. It actually has more strength than it does without zip kicker. The thing you don't want to do is take this bodkin and put it close to this, or use it to put on your super glue after you've already wet it in a zip kicker, because it'll make that hard as concrete, the bottom. Okay, so the thread is right there. The As you can see, the eye should be the tangent to the back of the eye should be very near. The tangent should be very close to being even with the eye, the point of the hook. All right. I'm assuming most of you have your eyes on, but I'm going to wait and confirm. Make sure that's done. Pitt? John? You good? John's good. Jim's good. Mark, you're not tying? Oh, you tying? You good to go, Mark?
I'm good.
Hey, Chris.
Finally got my camera working. I'm
You
good.
got your picture on there, man. All right. You good? You got your eyes mounted?
Yeah, all
Okay.
set.
Jonathan.
Yes, sir. We're good.
Okay. All right. Okay. Next thing, if you got materials, which I think the majority of you did, you got a little string of flash boot here. So what you want to tie in on the tail there, right behind the eyes. And this is enough. This is enough for the 4 flies. You don't need to double anything over. You might want to cut the end of it flush before you put it on there, and I'll wet mine just to make sure I got a tight. You can do it with spit if you want to. I just got a little bowl of water there. And tie that. Just push it up against the eyes. Tie it in. A couple of good wraps there. And then come back about a shank length, just approximate. You can adjust that later if it's a little long. And sometimes I go 1/2 inch, man. I might throw a 1/2 inch on there just for the heck of it. Now, an optional step, according to the book, is to put an orange egg sac on the back of the fly, and it's supposed to be Finnish. Is that one Finnish raccoon? Yeah, I think that's what it was. And I couldn't find any of those in the woods, so this is regular marabou. All right, so I bring it to about halfway the length of the crystal flask coming back, and tie it loosely at first. A couple of loose wraps, and just try to get it to get around the hook a little bit if you can. It's more or less a hot spot. I don't know if it's that critical, but try to work it around with your finger, get a little bit of feather around that hook. And again, just wrap it off, tighten her up. Cut off that excess there. The excess, not access. Okay. We'll put another 1/2 inch on there, be safe. You still working on it, Pip? Jim? John? Okay, Pitt's good. Jim, you still working on it? Jim, John, okay, you good? Okay, John Maples? Give me a thumbs up or a wait a minute. Thumbs up, okay. Mark, good?
Good.
Okay, Chris? Jonathan, you good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. All right. All right, next, if you want to cut this, if you don't have a rotary vise, I've got enough for 6 inches per fly. So you can you cut a 6 inch. I think it's actually will work out about 5.5, but go ahead and go to 6 if you want to. I'm going to tie in the estas. Right behind the eye. You know, tie the thread part that you just skinned off there, right in behind the eye. And we're going to make 2 wraps back here. Oops, I got mine wasn't tight enough. All right, once that's tied in, going to make about 2 wraps, 2 adjacent wraps. And what I found is that if you look at the screen for a second, if you just go straight over the top, it's going to give you, sometimes it'll have a tendency to slide off the rump. So make sure you got it where it's not going to do that. Just kind of favor pulling it a little bit forward there. Okay. 2 wraps, and then I will take and put 2 wraps around that estas right there. All right, and just kind of tighten it up. And take that estas and pull that back to the back of your vise, keep it out of the way. The next thing we're going to do is tie in the zonker strips, and don't tie them in yet. Just watch closely. Some of you may know how to do this, but some of you might not. So when you tie it in, you tie it in backwards, which you might think is backwards. So you see how the hair is sweeping in the direction of the eye of the hook. It's not back like you would think it would be. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn it like this, okay, with the sweep going to my right, your left, and we're gonna tie it on the side of the hook. And so what you got to do is get the thread about maybe an eye width forward of the front edge of the eyes, and that's going to be the first wrap. So, and I'm going to be tying on my side of the hook, and I'm going to try to center up that zonker strip, hair side against the hook shank. All right, so I'm going to take it and push the hide up against the eye, you know, inside the inside part of the eye, and try to get this booger on there. About 2 wraps, then I'm gonna check it and reposition it if I have to, and try to have it just in line with the hook shank. I'll bring the hook back, or the thread back, to the most forward wrap. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side of the hook shank with the other 1.25 inch zonker strip. So when we have this stuff tied in, it's going to be, now my fly is laying on its left side right now. So all this rabbit hair, this zonker is trailing out to the right, past its nose, past the eye of the hook. All right, so same drill. on the far side, which I've got now facing up on my vise. All right, so that thread goes, or the leather goes up inside the eye as best you can. Hold it there. I didn't have my thread far enough forward, so we'll get it right up in here. Okay. Yep, I'm not getting it. It's a little bit tricky for me to get sometimes. All right, what I found is if you're forward, when you start this tie on this, the high side works a lot better to get them both started like that. And then as you try to pinch them down and hold them, keep them from rotating, tighten up your wraps and bring it right back into the cavity of the eye there. And about right now, I'm gonna take a look, make sure it's okay. By the way, if it's slightly on the top of the hook, by the top, I mean where the eyes are, that's not good. You ought to try to get it down the other way. Mine are both up a little high, so I'm gonna try to work them down just a little bit. The reason for that is as this fly descends in the water column, these Zarker strips sort of act like a drogue chute. And so the eyes ought to be the thing, ought to be sitting on the bottom if you let it go all the way to the bottom. So I found, especially with using the number 6 hook, that I had a difficult time getting that one to ride hook point up. I don't think I ever was successful. All right, so finish off, coming back as close to the inside the eye cavity as you can. Again, check alignment as you go. And this is probably the most critical thing to keep from coming apart on this fly, in my opinion. All right, when you get there, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of a whip finish on it there, and then hit it with some super glue. Let's see, before the super glue, I'm going to take a look at it. Yeah, I think that'll do. Okay. Again, I'll put a little zip kicker on there. Always close the lid on these things. Because if the lid is on, you won't knock it over. Pitt, you working on the zonkers?
I was just super gluing. I'm good.
Okay. John? John Maple's good, okay. Mark?
Hey, we're good.
Okay. Jim?
I'm good, Mark. Good, Mike.
Hey, that's faster than me. Hey, Flip.
Hey, Mike. Sorry,
You good with
I came in late. They had something come up.
Oh, that's
But-
all right.
I'm going to watch you and
Okay.
do it later.
All right. Don't necessarily do like I do it.
It looks fine.
Chris, you good?
All set.
Okay. What color are you tying?
I was tying some crawfish patterns earlier, so I stuck with kind of a burnt orange color.
That's good color. Okay. Jonathan?
Yes, sir. We're good.
Okay. Who else? I see. I've got. Okay. All right. All right. The next thing to do is to move your thread up to right up against the eye of the hook. Just leave it right there. Be out of the way. Okay. Now, if you did it like I did it, you had 2 turns on this this S-dash before you came up to the eyes. So now I got a little bit of a gap here. So I'm gonna make one wrap in front of the eyes, just to really tight up against the eyes. And I'm gonna come back behind the eye. So I took it from below, behind the eyes, and put one in front. Now I'm gonna come back behind my near eye. And I'm going to take this wrap and come right in front of the zonker wing. And what did I catch here? I did something here. Hold on. Got my thread. Okay. All right. So now what that's going to do is going to keep this zonker bent back.
Mike, can you do that one more time for me? Your hand was in front and I couldn't
Okay.
see.
All right. Yeah, my
So,
thread's in the way
I
too.
know it's hard. Yeah.
Okay. That's all right. Okay. All right. So what I did is, this is where I started. My S-dash was hanging down with those 2 wraps on it and behind the eyes.
Okay.
So my first wrap is coming in front of the eyes and behind the zonkers.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. So now I'm back on the near side again with the eyes up. I'm going to come behind my near eye and straight up here. I'm behind the near eye. I'm going to come diagonally across in front of the far side zonker. And this is going to force that zonker to not come all the way forward. Okay. So I'm gonna kind of adjust the zonker as well. All right, so now I'm going to got to try to figure this out. I got to come diagonally from the far side behind the far eye and do the same thing to the near side zonker. Y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's see if this works. Well, it's not going to work like that. All right, I'm going to come. All right. I got to get over. I'll just come back around here like this, see if this works. All right, did that already. Hold on. All right, I'm getting confused. We'll come back around here. That didn't work. All right. Everything came undone. Okay. I'm going diagonal. I've got the far side eye trapped. Let's see. Now I'm going to come around again around the back and try to trap this near side eye, come across diagonally from the front to the rear. You got to hold quite a bit of tension there. Now I've got both of these Zonkers trapped one back and my eyes are just completely covered up. So now I'm going to take a circular wrap right around the front.
Mike, I'm managing the zoom, so I'm not tying. So you basically did a figure 8 with that Estes.
Yep.
Is that what you did?
Yeah, I
Okay.
did two cross
Gotcha.
wraps
Gotcha.
across
Yeah.
the eyes, which one of them was descending, the other one was ascending.
Okay, cool.
All right, now just coming around with adjacent wraps, which I'm going to make all the way to just behind the eye. And you got to have this thing's got to be real tight. So hold on to your hook when you pull it tension. You'll pull it out of the vise. Okay, I can't see anybody out there. So how y'all doing?
Good.
That's Jim Johnson doing good. Pitt,
I'm good.
Chris, how you doing?
Good.
How long you been tying, Chris?
Oh, I learned to tie probably at about the age of 8. Quit doing it for about 25 years and been back into it for about 5 years now.
Okay.
Chris, you needed to do some tying sessions because you probably have more years than most of us. Then that's cool.
Well, at some point I'd love to. Hoping eventually when we get back to in-person tying, I can actually make the drive up and join you guys. It's a
Great.
bit
Where
of a
are
haul
you,
from
Chris?
Sorrento. Oh, I'm in Sorrento.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Where you work, Chris?
Oh, I run a pair of asbestos laboratories, one here in Baton Rouge and one over in Dallas.
Oh, okay. Wow. You stay pretty busy then. All right, you get up there close to the eye and put a couple of good wraps around the Estes. Try not to cut the thread at the same time you cut the Estes. I say that to remind myself not to do it. And then just finish off with a fairly decent head. Now, I have not put a weed guard on any of these flies that I've tied. I think would probably be a good idea. I just haven't done it. And you can put super glue or head cement. On the threads, on the thread head.